Welcome back to Chris Old House. Yet again, day 53 on this job. Look at that. It's a kitchen. Now with countertops. Got the classic brown with the classic granite, which is in and done. And on this side, this is also in. And in the laundry area is this guy, this little cabinet. Had a little bit of an issue here. When I got here, they had already put this in, and it was a little far out here. I would have had them bring it back just a little bit so that it would miss my door there, which is the way it's supposed to be. But they ended up having to cut this a couple of times because I kept telling him how to cut it and he wouldn't listen to me. So anyway, it's not perfect, but it's fine because you got to do the best you can with this area, considering that that's the space that the washer dryer is going to go into. That's some little compromises, but could be a lot worse. So what am I doing? Well, hot water heater, I got in completely. Everything got the last parts I need. I still need to search around a little bit more at a different place to get the last chimney parts I need. I'll show you. It is all hooked up. We got that little sediment drop there to code, because the gas comes in here, and if there's any crap in the gas line, it drops down there and sits at the bottom there before the gas goes into the unit. And up at the top, I got the flexi, or the adjustable chimney dealy there, which is now just at the top there. I think you can see it. And I'm going to need one more of these adjustable pieces to get it to go out the top. So now it's on to some more odds and ends. I am going to paint the inside of the door. I'm going to give the baseboard another coat of paint, the baseboard that's going to go on after I get the floor down. And am I going to start the floor? I think I might just start the floor. And so, like I said, there's that beautiful kitchen. And we're getting ready to look at the floor, which you know by now is quite wavy, but I'm working with this flexible flooring material to try to handle that problem. However, there was one area of the floor a little bit closer to where I'm standing right now, which was a little bit too bumpy wavy, so I took up the plywood. Oh, isn't that interesting? Yes, this area right here is very, very bumpy and wavy. Apparently, they had just sort of patched back a bunch of pieces of wood in this area right here. But what's very interesting is, I think the situation is, this structure was once a series of little tiny buildings, and they connected them together with beams and connected one building to the other because, let me see if I can get around and show you this. The front of the building, where the front door is and all the new windows are in and stuff, I think that section you're looking at right there was a little bungalow on its own, because this right here is the stucco outside wall of a structure that was right here. So going back again, and you can even sort of see how it looks kind of solid over there. It looks kind of straight and kind of solid, and where the flooring just naturally ends, because that was a structure out there. I mean, these could have been like 10 by 12 huts that were all put together to make one structure. So everything ends right here, and they just sort of tried their best to patch in pieces, including a piece of cookie box, something, 2 dozen. Ooh. And so now I'm left with this crazy, wacky, wavy floor. And all I can do is try to just sort of find an average with some plywood and do my best to just average it out, because there's no getting the humps and the bumps out of this floor without taking all of it up, which I do not intend to do. So that's one of the crazy things that sometimes happens, because I was about to start putting some floor down right there, but now I'm going to have to go get plywood. And so there we have it. It doesn't look too exciting, but it's much more screwed down, and I've put in all these blocks to give some rigidity and give some nailing for the piece of plywood that I went out and got, and the boards that I went out and got. I was a little surprised to have to do that, but it needed to be done. So it's a lot more rigid there. At least it won't be as bouncy. It'll still go down, but at least, well, it'll be more rigid in its slopiness. So that's going to do it for day 53, I think, here on Chris Old House. I'm taking the weekend off because I need to rest and I don't know, wash clothes or something. But I'll get this down pretty quickly on Monday, and then I can start the floor, which I really want to do. This was a little hiccup, but not much of one. There haven't been many moments like this in the job. So I just had some pizza. Now I'm gonna have some ice cream. That's what you do after you work all day. But until next time, next week, where we're gonna get a lot more done and get very, very, very close to being finished. Until that time, I will see you. Thank you very much for watching Chris Old House.